Alright, welcome to episode 19. And today is the 26th September. And oh man, we got a show for you. It's kind of rushed this one. We didn't really have time to write everything that we didn't get it, like, it's not like deep and thick, full of content, but I did write a decent script for it to go over the bare bones of what we need to know. You know, and I got the Blues here, of course, so Blues is here to help us do this. And we got Pan listening in, and she's probably asleep. You know, so alright. So we'll go right into it. So, in DBL news, what is going on the site, Blues? Give us the hot takes of what's going on the site.
I mean, you already know what the fuck's going on the site.
But the people don't out there.
You already know. Oh, yeah, okay, yeah. I keep forgetting we're fucking recording this for a later audience. Okay, basically, right now, I don't think much has changed since last week. Cadogan is just trying to go against the magic guilds, the white.
Yeah,
court.
but I thought we had agreed we're gonna slow down the Cadogan stuff until we're done with the Demon Realm, and I guess
Why the fuck do we have to slide? Like, we can have the shit running concurrently.
I guess we can, but I won't be able to play Tetrati as much if I'm focusing on the Demon Realm, because I'm playing a lot of characters, so I can really only focus on one at a time to make it good. That's why I'm saying you might want to hold off on the Cadogan, because if once we're done with the Demon Realm, then I can play Tetrati full time, and I can kind of like sideline all my other characters, and then we could do space. You know, then we could do the space stuff. So that way, every arc is very good. We can show them how it's done. You know, when we put all our effort into one arc, make it high quality. That's the only reason. But I mean, you could do it. I mean, if you wanna keep doing it, it's cool. I mean, you know, but I mean,
the way I mean, it's okay. See, like, are we trying to? Because the way I see it, it's like the Cadogan shit. This is going on regardless, because I like fucking playing Cadogan. So, no matter what, I don't care how popular Demon World becomes, I'm still playing fucking Cadogan. All right.
No, I mean, I want Cadogan to be good too, but
that being said, we could also, I mean, like, I know you have all this invested into the Demon World saga.
Yeah.
We can run it at the same time.
We can, but what I'm offering you is that if we would wait, I could play Tetrati full time, and we could have a way better Cadogan arc.
Yeah, but it's like, what the fuck am I going to be doing in the downtime between you going to school and doing all this other auxiliary shit that you got to be doing in your fucking life? And I can't just be waiting on you to play Demon World all the time.
It
ain't like you active 24/7 like you was.
No, I'm not. I guess that's true. So yeah, if you want to keep the Cadogan thing going, that's cool. I
just do the Cadogan shit because it's like it's nothing else much going on.
Yeah.
Like, that's the only big thing going on Earth right now.
Yeah, that makes sense if you put it that way. So, you know, what's going on with, like, the people that they don't know a lot about? Because they hear always about our characters, but tell them about, like, Miari and what's going on with Miari and Xanthi and Cadogan and all the time fuckers?
So basically what's going on in that plot is, you know how Cadogan kind of just, like, after he killed his father, it was like it's been two parts to the Cadogan saga, pretty much. Yeah. It's like that first part was where he was, like, super evil and trying to kill everybody, and now this saga, this part of it is like him trying to actually get his revenge.
Interesting. So he's gonna finally take down the magic guilds, and are there gonna be any repercussions for that? Well, besides the fact besides the fact that Sylvia's Aegis is basically creating a kind of like his own version of the Magic Guild, but it's just disguised as just a school. But I mean, that's the thing. The modern humans don't understand this. It's like, because basically, I'm pretty sure the Magic Guild started out as just a school, or like a group of schools that taught magic. But eventually, they kind of consolidated power. So I mean, the normal people don't even understand that because they don't know about all that history or a lot of it. So that's kind of why Sylvius could get away with it. But I'm sure people in the magic community they probably kind of get what Sylvius is doing. His name's Sylvius Agato.
And ever since, I'm going to kind of have the Cadogan saga. It's like, like I said, it was in 2 parts. Part 1, the end of that one will be him and Tetradia like going up on Dread Island and releasing all of these criminals.
Yeah.
And that'll lead into the part 2 of the Cadogan saga.
Okay. Let's see.
As far as the Demon World stuff going on, it's like that's your plot. That's mostly you and Rikutsu. I'm Oob. I'm support.
Yeah.
You know, I'm not trying to take a main role in that saga. It's like so if you need me to NPC some enemies, all right, cool.
Yeah, I do. I actually do need you to play. I need you to play. I need to play a lot of demon foes because I can't just do it all myself. So like for
man, why don't you ever fucking hit me up? Be like, hey, can you play some demons?
All right.
Like, yeah, I'll play some fucking demons.
So we'll be partners in crime. Like you can help me. You can help play some of the blue fire demons because like I have a few characters for them, but I'm sure we could find you another blue fire demon character to play. So. Because that's going to be their first foes, and what's going to probably happen is because we have such a big party, they're going to have to be split up a lot of the times. Like, you're going to have Moth Violet, and probably you're going to have Moth Violet, Oob and Sorora, and Rikutsu together, with probably Moth Yokai, because Moth Yokai is not really going to relate to anybody but, Moth Violet. So you're going to have that group. Raditz and Goku are going to kind of stick together, kind of trying to keep an eye on each other, but also like they don't want to miss out. Goku doesn't trust Raditz, and he think he might try to do something, and Raditz doesn't want Goku to try to challenge somebody and get stronger than him that he is already. So they're gonna kind of be together, and then I don't know what other groups. Probably Piccolo will be there too. I don't know. We'll fucking figure it out. I mean, we might have made a mistake of having too many people involved, but there's really nothing we could do. It's kind of how it turned out, but it's all good. So let's see, and we could talk about There hasn't really been much going on the forums lately. I mean, there is a little bit, but nothing of really any note. I think Pan's been going camping. And she's getting a lot stronger. I mean, that's for sure. But
well, not a lot stronger. It's like, see, man, after you do that first initial grind up to 100K, like after that, grinding for stats really don't give you that much rewards after you hit 100,000. But it's like 100,000 is supposed to be something that's supposed to be the big goal everybody's working towards. You know what I'm saying? But it's like Pan fucking.
Yeah.
And turned in 45 C-Box RPs and got 100K power level.
Oh, this is good. This will be
man.
good. Yeah. Yeah, I just, it's kind of ridiculous. Everything. But, let's see. Let me see if I can get something else going. I guess, no. Yeah. We'll just add this to the mix and get this up. So there we go. We have this feed going, so we get all the updated shit that's going on in the world. There we go. So let's see, folks. Yeah, there's really not much going on that we could really talk about. I mean, let me go on the site real quick to make sure we're not missing anything. Who is Lance and what's going on with Astrid's new character? He's a magic character, but he mostly just
I think
RPs
he's a
with Xan.
magic warrior person.
But he doesn't really do anything. That's my thing. What is he up to, and what is he
I
doing?
don't know. I don't know.
You think
He's
it's
RP'd with Heather's other character,
yeah.
Vala.
You think it's partially our fault because we don't like offer to RP with him much? Like we could have him be a part of something, like maybe a part of the Cadogan Tetra things eventually. I don't know.
If he wants to, he can.
Yeah, but maybe he's the type of person that where you have to actually ask him because he's bashful or some shit. I don't know.
He's been knowing us for this long, and he's still fucking. Think we're gonna be like, oh no, you can't join this.
Yeah.
Like, no, motherfucker. I literally brought you and all these other motherfuckers back because I like RPing with you fuckers.
And there is also the fact that he might be a little salty that we kind of created a whole bunch of anti-Astrid characters, but I mean that goes back to the whole my criticism of the
that came with him being president.
yeah.
Alright, as soon as he became president, he should have anticipated motherfuckers coming after his ass.
Yeah, exactly. So he can't really be you can't really be mad about all that because I mean that was kind of like if you're gonna be the basically the saga villain, you gotta expect that everybody's gonna oppose you some way or another. So yeah, it just is what it is. Let's see. So yeah, basically, if you people don't know, but everybody should know that there was an Astrid arc. We're calling them arcs because these aren't technically sagas. They're just basically just big stories in between the sagas. So we just call them arcs for now. But Astrid had an arc where he was supposed to be the ruler of Earth, and he was for a while, and Piccolo kept challenging him. We call him Stoner Piccolo, and he would always find a way out. And really, the problem is the story didn't go anywhere. And that's really the problem with it is there's no like main theme or anything. It just didn't go anywhere, and there was a stalemate basically because of how the plot was that Astrid was too weak to defeat the Z Warriors, but they didn't want to kill him because that's exactly what Astrid wanted. So we entered this weird stalemate, and people were just getting frustrated with it because they wanted to do something, and when a huge amount of opposition did kind of, between Mr. Anon and, other characters and Piccolo, he kind of just left. He kind of just gave up power. So basically the saga ended kind of with a whimper than like any kind of like explosive or climatic end, and that's what kind of did in that arc. And so I don't think nobody's really happy with the way. I mean, I just can be honest. Like nobody's really happy the way that ended because it almost feels like it was a waste of time, or when you have certain expectations that there's going to be a
more or less. But see, I could already tell it was kind of going to be a bust when I could see him getting more invested in his other character than Astrid. It's like he got all this shit that he doing with his new character. It's like, all right. Well, what you doing with Astrid?
Yeah.
I have not seen him. Well, nah, he RP'd with me horribly the other day.
Yeah, it's kind of one of those things, man. Where I mean, I'm not really mad. I'm just kind of disappointed the way it went, but it's all good. You got to learn somehow. So I hope he learns from it, and maybe eventually he'll come up with something better that he can do. And then, I mean, it's just like, what is Vala's? What's going on with Vala, and who is she? What does she do?
She's an alien warrior person.
And the classic, like any Heather character, she only RPs with like 2 people. Which is kind of annoying at
Well,
the end of the day.
can you fucking blame her? It's only 2 people to RP with right now.
Yeah, because they were. I mean, that's
Like
the
none
thing.
of your characters have anything to do with her though. It's like the only character you have that's in remotely any realm that Heather's characters are is like Tetradia, and it's like you've already set up the whole thing that Tetradia and Xanthi don't like each other. So,
Well, of course
you know?
they don't. Of course they don't. I mean, it's not even like it would be criminal if I didn't have it like that. Like, oh, they're gonna be friends. Yeah. So, honestly, just remembered this, and honestly, this episode should be illegal. Like, what the fuck?
What?
Oh, this is a
This
Rugrat.
episode
It's
should
a
be illegal?
Rugrat episode where Angelica's getting like is freaked out that there's a giant.
Don't even no. Shut up.
There's like a giant baby. It's not lewd. So
Oh, is it just weird?
yeah. Is it? Angelica was probably my favorite Rugrat because she was kind of like the villain, and I like villains. So it like, would you expect anything less of me?
She was a good villain.
Yeah, she was.
As far as a little bunch of little kids goes,
Yeah.
she was a good villain.
I'd imagine myself as a Rugrat, but I'd be like Angelica's age, and we'd be like a duo of evil. Like, we'd just torment these kids, and it'd be like, that'd be fun.
It'd be like if Angelica and the fucking remember the rich girl from Powerpuff Girls that always wanted to be a Powerpuff Girl, but she couldn't.
Yeah.
I remember the episode where she actually did become a Powerpuff Girl. She started fucking them up.
Yeah. Yeah, I like the Powerpuff Girls.
That was a good episode.
Yeah,
That was a good episode.
see, when I was a kid, I would watch Powerpuff Girls and Sailor Moon, but when my mom would come by, I would change the channel. So it'd like go to C-SPAN.
Oh, man, my mom didn't give a fuck if I watched Powerpuff Girls.
I don't know. I was insecure. I was like,
I don't. Cartoon?
Now I wouldn't give a shit, you know, because I'm more comfortable in my own skin. I'm just like, yes, I am a degenerate fucker, so yeah, I'm gonna, or I don't care. But like back then, I was like, I don't want my mom to know I'm like watching like basically a girly cartoon show.
I mean, what? Powerpuff Girls was only girly up until they start beating shit up. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, they balanced it out pretty well.
And it's like the girly shit, and it's like they're little kids.
Yeah.
They're like in kindergarten or some shit. It's like you can excuse the little girly shit because it's like they're fucking kindergartners.
Yeah, exactly. So
they're kindergarten. It's like trying to. I don't even know where I was going with that analogy, but no, it's like they're little kindergartners. You can excuse all that little girly shit they get into.
Yeah, Rugrats was big before Dragon Ball Z. Like, that was really, like, the best. Like, Hey Arnold and Rugrats. Yeah. I mean, that was
an era.
And to be fair, it was actually good. Like, I mean, a lot of people don't remember Angry Beavers.
Stimpy.
Yeah. I loved Angry Beavers. That was a really good show for its time.
I think I caught Angry Beavers every now and then.
Yeah. Yeah, I really liked Angry Beavers. It was good.
Because it's like, I'm not old enough to have seen those really good 90s shows, but it's like, I still did catch, like, the latter end of them. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but they had actually, Nickelodeon still was good, because they had, like, Danny Phantom and,
yeah, Danny Phantom, fucking Fairly Odd Parents.
Yeah, those were good. Those were all good shows.
All of the shows made by that dude, Butch Hartman, yeah, they're all good.
Yeah.
You had Hey Arnold, you had Rocko's Modern Life.
Yeah.
You had fucking Doug was Disney. I ain't really like Doug.
Yeah, I wasn't a big fan of Doug either. You know what I really didn't like? I didn't like the whistling at the beginning. I hate fucking whistling.
He was just too normal. You know what I'm saying? It's like it's Doug. He's just too normal of a dude.
Here, I'm gonna show you what I saw on Twitter of Angelica. It's only good if you see some things on Twitter are only funny if you actually include like what the person had said with it. So if I just showed you the image, you'd be like, oh, but I'll show you this, and I'm gonna save this one as a meme text because it's pretty fucking funny. I'm gonna save it as a meme text, and I'll share it with you. No. I should give these titles. I just don't have time to do all that. Time is always a constraint in my life. So here, I'll show you it. I'm gonna show it and talk to speak right now. Meme text, yeah, it should be here. There we go. I don't actually remember what happened in this episode, but it is kind of creepy. There's a giant baby. So this is what I was laughing at. Like Angelica was having a nightmare or something. So, alright. We're getting back to what we were doing. Let's see. What else is going on the site? Let's see. It's exciting stuff, folks. That's what. Tell us more. So Val is basically just a space alien warrior, and she will only RP with two people.
She's space Xena warrior princess.
I did make the first Alliance application, the Saiyan Stellar Empire, which I made the flag myself. Can you tell? It's that high quality.
If only we had more people playing Saiyans.
Yeah, or that wanted to play, you know, evil Saiyans, basically, or...
Yeah.
Well, they're both evil. I mean, Paraga's faction is just as evil as Rom's faction. I mean, there's no, like, good... Well, the Sadalan Resistance, that's about the only good faction. So
good Saiyans, yeah.
Yeah. And they're kind of losing. They're kind of, like, in disarray right now. So... Yeah, I mean that's about it, man, folks. I mean, there's really not much to talk about that, but we can move on to Miram and Blue's hot takes. And what are our hot takes going to be? It's on the current Legends and Zeta. What's going on currently?
Yeah, give me your Legends hot takes, Rom.
Well, the current state. Yeah, it's basically the current state of both sites. Now, Legends...
give me your hot takes.
Legends is good. I don't really... Can't really complain. I mean, if I had something to complain about, it's just that I would want more energy and time put into advertising. But, I mean, the fact that Forte even got that done, because some of us were even doubting he would do it. Like, I mean, so we're at least it's moving forward. And he did a really good job. So I'm not...
Yeah, I think with Forte, it's like we give him a job, and then we kind of forget about it, and then he forgets about it, and then we all of a sudden get reminded of it, then he all of a sudden gets reminded of it.
Yeah. The fact that he did it...
We're really fucking forgetful.
Is good. I mean... I think that... I think the the site is fine right now, but, like... There's gonna have to be a lot of changes or added content to get people to stick around. And I've told Stoner Piccolo, what I was afraid.
See, content comes with time, man. I'm not gonna give everybody like a whole treasure trove of fucking content if there ain't gonna be nobody here to enjoy it. You know what I'm saying? It's like we got what we got right now with the people we have.
Yeah, one of my things is that. Yeah, I mean, one of the problems might be is that, yeah, we'll advertise and people will come through, but can we keep them? Well, like, what do we bring to the table that can keep them? Now, I mean, we could say, well, we got the podcast, we do a lot more things. We try to have more events, but, I mean, first of all, let's just talk about how much time you have to put into this shit. Like, it's just a lot of time, and, like, I'm not in a position, like, I would imagine that, like, Alex and Arena Vegeta, they already have their careers, so they don't have to do a lot of extra shit. I'm not in that position, really. I mean, I could bullshit my way and be like, I could just, I could survive off my pension and, like, just do a little bit of bullshitting, with Lyft and Uber, but... I mean, I'm not, like, to sacrifice that much, literally, like, I'm going to, like, go nowhere in my life and just live in this apartment for the rest of my life, that's not cool either. I gotta do shit in real life too.
Yeah, it's like when we try to compare ourselves to fucking Arena Vegeta or Alex, it's like they started this shit way back in the 90s, like not in the 90s, but like in the early 2000s when this shit was still fucking new.
I would imagine though they're
they've been running this shit for years, and when they got into this shit, they were in a position to where they could maintain it back then, and they can maintain it now. It's like they didn't just get to this position to where they could maintain this shit. They was doing this shit when they first started.
Yeah, I mean, I have no complaints. I can't really complain
because it was a lot easier back then too. It was a lot easier back then too.
I can't really complain about it because I mean, it's like, I mean, there's nothing really to complain about Legends. It's doing all right, and we have a core base audience that are they're loyal. They're a lot loyal. They're more loyal than I think we give them credit for because we abuse them and talk shit about them. But sometimes they deserve it. But,
that's the charm.
Yeah, sometimes they seem like they deserve it. So.
And that's what keeps them bringing back, because they can outwardly talk shit to us, and we just talk shit right back.
Yeah,
it's never as like, oh, we gotta hush talk about all the members behind everybody's backs. It's like, no, they gonna hear what the fuck we gotta say.
Yeah, exactly.
Because that was always a thing we didn't fucking like with admins back on old sites we did. It's like, oh, they would always get together and convene in these dark Illuminati cabals.
I kind of do.
Eyes wide shut parties.
I kind of do like the fact that we can, when we do run the podcast, if people have a problem, they can literally just come in and disrupt the podcast and yell at us, and we'll just yell back. I mean, it's we can talk. See, the thing is,
the podcast goes all the way off the rails.
Yeah. See, the thing is, we can handle it. I mean, for the most part, if it gets if it's disruptive every episode, then it's a problem. But if you want to get something off your chest, like, you can come into the podcast and, it'll be fun. Like, I hope, at least with Iona, he usually has good points, so that's why I agree with him sometimes, and I have a mutual respect for him. I mean, he does have good points, so.
Yeah.
Like, I agreed with him with the whole, like, me killing off, Ace, but then like I admitted to him, like I can GM, but I'm not like an expert GM. Like, I don't know about like what the decorum and
it's like we were already running that saga so haphazardly anyway.
Yeah.
So it's like
there were
so many variables to that equation that it's just nothing.
I mean,
I don't think there would have been any kind of good come out for how we did based on what we
First of all, the saga was too big and cumbersome. There's too many locations, really.
Too many locations. It really should have been that's really like a season 3 saga that we did. Yeah,
literally, you could have broke it down into. You could have literally broke it down into many different sagas. Like, you could have had the Namek part of it. It could have been its own saga.
But the great thing about it is, in hindsight, the great thing about such a big saga is that now the universe is so radically different to what we were when we started at the 15 years after my debut.
It worked out, but
everything
barely.
Is so totally different now that we can really pretty much do everything what the fuck we wanted to do.
It worked out, but barely, because I feel like if I wasn't here and to goad and push and yell at people, I think it might have died on the forums. I really do. And people were like, no, we got to do it on the forums. I'm like, bro, nobody's fucking doing anything on the forums. What? I said that I feel like we were lucky to have the people we did, because if you took away anybody from the equation, it seems like basically the saga would have fell apart. You know what I mean? Can you hear me?
More or less.
I feel like if I wasn't there, I wouldn't have like pushed and goaded people. I wouldn't have been there to do that.
Well,
and
not only that, it's like you were playing like 90% of the fucking characters.
Yeah. And really, what saved the saga was switching over from the forums to the C-Box. And, people, I still, to this day, don't understand the people who argued it should have stayed on the forums, because it was dying on the forums. And then their next argument is, well, you were playing too many NPCs. And I'm like, I was able to keep up with most of my NPCs. But, the fact that you're playing one character and you can't keep up.
You know what? You were playing a lot of NPCs, and we really didn't have a set goal for those NPCs. You know what I'm saying? It's like we were just doing things.
Yeah. I admit.
We had a baseline idea of what we wanted to do, but it's like we just did shit.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it could have been run a little bit better, but I mean, it's okay. The good thing is it got done and it did help like build the site up, so I do feel that that's good. And so it's not all bad. But you got to be critical a little bit of the site. So yeah, overall it's good. As far as Zeta goes, I mean Zeta's fine. I just gotta keep. My big plan is if I can't get it done by the beginning of next year, really summer is going to be the big time that I'm going to be working on it to finish it, because I'm going to have like 3 or 4 months, I think, after the spring after spring college is over. I'm not going to go to college for the summer. I'm just going to spend like a few months working on it and getting it really where I need it. And that's might be what I have to do if I can't fucking get it done anytime soon, unfortunately. So it is what it is. But yeah, there's really nothing else to say. I mean, I could go into some of the like I had talked to Stoner Piccolo, and I could get what got him excited about the plot. So I could go into that if you want.
Yeah, go ahead, man.
So, like, I'm still gonna add you as an admin tonight. You're not shirking out of that one. You're gonna get on the site.
No, I'm not. I never said I wasn't.
Yeah, we just never did it. But, yeah. So.
Yeah, just send me the link and I'll register as admin.
So. Yeah, I'll send you the link right now on your thing, so that way I can have you on there, and I'll explain anything to you. So if you get really confused, I'll be like, no, you don't understand. This is like it's supposed to be built kind of like this. So I'll tell you why, and then once you get on the page, you can help build it too. So let's see, Zeta. There we go. And yes, I am going to change the image. And yes, I might change the title. It might not end up being Dragon Ball Zeta. It might just be Shonen Fighter Zeta. Because I'm going to... I know, I see the way the winds are blowing, and I'm kind of like, I want it to encompass more than Dragon Ball Z at this point. It doesn't make any sense to just have a Dragon Ball Z website. So if I can offer more, I can basically gain more of an audience. So, hold on. So, I mean, it's going to be a little weird because we're not used to having more of a site that's not fully Dragon Ball Z, but I think we might need to get out of our comfort zone a little bit if we're going to survive. I really do, so. Because it's outside of my comfort zone, because I might make some mistakes, but... Here, I sent you the link. But anyways, so what do you want to know? What you want to know about the backstory, or like what's going on, or?
Yeah, man. It's sell Dragon Ball Zeta to me.
Sell Dragon Ball Zeta to you. All right.
Sell me Dragon Ball Zeta. Since you talk about, it's gonna be such a good site. I have all the good shit. I'ma have all the good shit. Sell me Dragon Ball Zeta. Sell me Dragon Ball Zeta. I'm your main competitor as Dragon Ball Legends.
We're not competitors. We're not really competitors.
No, we're not competitors, but hypothetically speaking, I'm your main competitor. How would you beat me? What you got?
Oh, okay. So okay. So you want to put that premise? How would I defeat? If we were like actually like competing,
if we were rivals, if we were competing sites, how would you sell Dragon Ball Zeta to me?
Well, I'd have regular scheduled C-Box events. Like Probably every Saturday after the podcast would be like,
Yeah, that's one idea I liked of yours that I wanted to do it. It's like now that I got this job, I probably can't do it unless I have the weekends off. I could probably do every
well,
Saturday.
what I would plan on doing is I would do them for a while, and then once people got used to it, I would allow other admins and mods to do it if I could trust them. I'd be like, look, you could do it for this week, and that would give them a chance to really.
See, the only problem I have with that is that makes it seem like everything else that goes on besides those C-Box events it's not really doesn't matter. You know what I'm saying? So I guess people will get. That's not what we're saying.
Nah, because it's going to be different.
It gives people the impression.
It's going to be different than that because these C-Box events are not going to be based on our characters. They're going to be based on, like, okay, who shows up? Okay, what can you do with these characters? Make something interesting. It doesn't always have to be combat either, but it's going to be, whoever shows up, you're going to do a story for them. It's not going to be like, I'm showing up in C-Box, so I'm going to play ROM, and no matter what you like, because that's kind of what we do. But, I mean, at the same time, I don't have the time to just go into C-Box and be like, hey, what do you guys want to do? It's like, we're trying to move the plot forward for what we're doing, but I don't know if that's always the correct way to do it. Like, we should be supporting members' characters and propping them up instead of propping up our own characters. And I do think that if I was to have it my way, I know that that's kind of a weakness of Legends. That the admins and the staff and, well, I guess I'm like a freelancer now, member, but what we do is we prop up our characters in the plots instead of propping up, like, say, Sunpan or Iona. Because if what I would do is, if, say, Iona came on Zeta and he played the same characters that was like a time cat, well, what I would do is I would look at his backstory and figure out about his character, which I never. You notice I never really do that, but I know I've learned from other GMs that this is kind of what you'd want to do. I'd figure out a lot about his character, and then I would actually create NPCs that, or in C-Box scenarios that relate to him. Like, it's like, it would almost be magic to certain members. Like, he would get it that I did it, but, like, noobs and shit, they'd be like, oh, shit, like, he's, like, really, like, tailored a whole event to my character. Instead of them coming to us or rolling with our plots and our characters, I kind of throw them into being the main character. It'd be like, oh, but that takes a lot of time and effort, but it really doesn't if you really think about it. I could make bullet points about Kanton and kind of get a general idea, and I could roll with that, So there are ways to do it. So that's one way I'd be able to kind of get an edge over Legends, is I'd make these C-Box events custom curtailed to the actual members. So basically, I'm just giving them more bang for their buck, because they're like, oh, no, it's like, I could make a scenario about Sunpan. I could make it to where, like, I'll just make her a rival. I'd make her, there's maybe a martial arts from the Crane School, and he just runs into her. They're the same age. You can make a rival, and it's like, I'll just keep that NPC in my back pocket, and I'll use him now and then. And that would already get Pan invested in the site, because now she has a rival and she doesn't know when he's going to show up or not. There's certain tricks you can use. You just have to have the time and resources to do it. But it's the little things. See, what your mistake is you like to make, and I do this sometimes too, but it's more because I have less time to do the little things. But you want, like, grand spectacles, and I do that too. But really, it's the little things. You could make a grand spectacle, but because it doesn't relate to the characters, it doesn't really. They're not going to remember. It's not going to be as memorable as I made. Like, what if I made an event about a village, but because it was custom curtailed for Pan, to her, that event, even though it's about a village and shit, would be more memorable and worthwhile to her than a giant battle spectacle where she's just like fodder in it. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
see, we always are kind of in a, because we like to play on our sites as our characters. We're kind of always members and admins. And as members, we kind of want to do our own thing. But if as admins, we should be like really, we should be serving the interest of the members.
Yeah, it's like even though I never really wanted Oob to take out Turles or anything. I still wanted that fight between Oob and Romanus.
Yeah.
I still want that fucking fight, man.
Yeah, I mean I've tried. I mean I had Rom fight Kira. I didn't have to do that because I knew me and you could have a good fight. It just fell apart because of other factors. But yeah, that's another way. I'd have regular C-Box events, and then I'd custom curtail them. I'd go back and read, because if they have a backstory just readily available, I would go on their backstory and kind of read over it and glance over it. I might even have like a secret on the staff web page. I'd have secret bullet points of profiles of characters. Or I'd get an admin, or I'd get a mod to do it. I'd be like, hey, this is what you do for the week. I want you to go back, look at all these people's backstories, and put them in the bullet points so we can all understand it for the staff. And so that way we can, if we want to create a custom, C-Box event, we know about, like, what these characters are about. Like, who are their, do they have, like, family members? Do they have a revenge shit? And then I'll be like, okay, now we can use that. Because what we can do is we can have a villain go to their family member's house and fuck with them and shit. And that's how you take it to the next level. I just haven't had the time or resources to do it, but I've learned this from my GM mentor, which is a South African dude. But he's cool as fuck. So, no. Heather's like, you're welcome, Heather. Also, my favorite character from Rugrats was Angelica, because she was the villain. She's like a child Tetradia. I mean, that's just, it almost makes sense, because I always like the villains. I like the Decepticons over the
Well, the Decepticons just had a cooler fucking logo, man.
Well, that too.
Like, at the end of the day, it's like the Decepticons have a cooler fucking logo.
Yeah. But
like the Autobots, in comparison, the Autobot logo is like, it's so...
Yeah. There's something about villains. They have the better gear. They're just cooler. Like, Cobra's a hell of a lot cooler than just a regular army-looking dudes. Like
G.I. Joe. It's like, I get it. G.I. Joe is cool, but it's like, I want Cobra.
Yeah, like, if I had to choose, I'd be like, just out on a...
You know what? The one thing G.I. Joe did have over Cobra was the fact that they had that nigga Snake Eyes.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. They had some, the G.I. Joes had some cool stuff and cool characters, I'll admit that. And just the fact that Cobra was, like, evil and incompetent, I mean, that's never a good thing to be a part of that kind of faction. If your life's on the line or something. But,
yeah, but it's like, at the end, it's like Cobra is so fucking cool, but then at the end of the day, Cobra Commander is so idiotic and incompetent.
Yeah.
It kind of kills it. It kills it.
Yeah. But yeah, like getting back to
Skeletor is so cool up until he starts talking and trying to do shit.
But the thing is that we're not really rivals because, I mean, first of all, our sites, like I'm universe, like Zeta is universe 13. It's a lost universe. And I would just imagine that Legends is kind of the same.
You know what? And see, I had a backstory. See, in the site backstory.
So how about
the God of Destruction of the 13th universe? Actually, was the one who was like doing all the shit that made them have to restore the universe. It was actually the god of destruction of the 13th universe.
And the 13th universe would be Zeta, the
Yeah, so
Zetaverse.
it's like the god of destruction for the Zetaverse would have been the one to actually cause the Legends verse.
Well, you know, the god of destruction in the Zetaverse got killed by the Titans eventually, so they killed him. But yeah, if that's the case, then yeah, like these two universes can be lost, and these two universes kind of they're in like a twin orbit, so they basically orbit around each other like two stars.
Yeah, and they had that idea already in DBZ, so it's like, yeah, they mirror universes.
Yeah. So these are two lost pair universes. So I guess your universe would be 13 or 14. So 13 and 14.
Well, see, if yours is going to be 13, mine has to be like either half that or double that. Can't really have 13, so what's 13 times 2?
Why would it? Why can't it just be? Why would it? Why you can name it
26.
You can just name it whatever you want. Just name it 14. Why would you overcomplicate it?
Universe 26.
Oh my God! Just make it 14 and keep it so. Jesus Christ! What the fuck? 26.
The 26th universe.
Then you're gonna confuse people because they're gonna be like, "Well, what's all the universes in between?" It's like, no.
It's like, don't ask about them. Yeah. we don't RP in those universes.
Yeah, because basically it's gonna be the old. Because even back on old Legends, I had the idea of creating another website, and they were gonna be like, basically you could transfer between universes. It's mostly that's gonna be OCs because I do not want a Goku to just. I don't want Legends Goku to come in there and fuck everything up. And Stoner Piccolo.
You're Legends Goku, so.
Stoner Piccolo kind of agreed with that, so he's like, yeah, I don't want because he likes the backstory where Goku doesn't exist in this universe in the same way. He's actually on station with Raditz. And their battle team is kind of cursed because Raditz and Kakarot always seem to survive, but anybody else who joins their battle team dies. So they're kind of like a cursed. So in the end, it's like they're just a pair, a duo, and like nobody else wants to join their team because they think they're like cursed or something. So these two are Kakarot and Raditz are destined to destroy Earth because it's just like. Without Goku, there's no like unifying person to bring all these people together.
Hold on, let me mute my fucking mic real quick.
It's like a fucking pound puppy city.
Yeah. Let me mute my shit real quick. Hold up.
Rugrats. What the fuck?
My name is Zeke.
Have you heard this story of...
That's ridiculous. You know babies can't talk.
Charlotte, you're right. It'll be perfect for the new baby.
Oh, by the way, we're moving the new baby into your room and giving him all your toys.
Oh shit, I remember this now.
Hey, what are you doing here, sister? I thought I told you to scram. I warned you to get out, but you wouldn't listen. Now I'm gonna have to teach you a lesson. You had your chance.
Oh shit. That was a Halloween special? Okay.
Alright, now, okay, you wanted some action on C-Box? We about to give you some fucking action.
Oh god, what are you about to do?
About to beat the shit out of Elijah.
Oh, he started something, or did you start something, or what happened? Let's see.
Yeah.
How long have we been? We've been doing this. We're on 50 minutes. 50 minutes. Yeah. So that's what we got. I don't know. I don't know what else to say, folks. I mean, Zeta's coming, and Legends is doing all right. It's all right. The future of the podcast. Well, here's the thing. Like I said, I was talking about it earlier. I think that the podcast should focus more on the site because we should be. The reason is like you think right now that we shouldn't be because there's not a lot going on. But imagine if we had 3 times as many people. We wouldn't have time to cover or rant about like fucking Joe Biden or whatever, because we have to talk about all the shit on the site. So we probably should just start to get used to doing that. It's gonna get hard though because, like, luckily we only do the podcast every week, so there's usually always something going on. So
yeah, it's just we're in that inter-saga period.
I would like to actually cover certain topics, like just a topic. Like we could do even the history of anthology or Alex's site.
It's just the fact that we didn't have a script this week.
Yeah. So maybe for the ROM...
It's always kind of lackluster when the podcast doesn't have a script because we don't know what the fuck to talk about.
Yeah, so maybe for like ROMcast we could do that. We could do like actual specific topics and we can talk about certain things. Like about the RPG community, history maybe, and but no, I kind of want to keep history and politics for our political podcast. So maybe just we'll cover RPG shit and anime. Yeah, I wanted to cover like anime and we could talk about certain characters like Piccolo and Vegeta and how they impacted us and what we feel like should have happened with them and stuff. Because I could talk shit about Gohan all day. So we could make that would be fun. We'll make sure Stoner Piccolo's there for that. We get Stoner Piccolo and Iona and other people. Mantine would be funny there because Mantine always has pretty funny hot takes about certain DBZ characters. Like it'd be funny is to talk shit about Future Trunks, one of your favorites. Like, we have everybody on and they just completely talk shit. Though the only time I would actually criticize Future Trunks in the canon is Super. Like I don't like Supers.
Yeah, it's like yeah.
So
fucking, I can see like Super Trunks is such a different character to what he was in DBZ. It's like I don't even. I'm so disappointed.
So that's what we could do. Moving forward for the podcast, we can actually have episodes on topics generally involving the RPG community. Maybe we could even start talking about D&D and its history and Pathfinder, since those are kind of more involved in what we're doing. Keep it on that. We can have interviews and guests. We were supposed to interview Forte, it just never happened. That was supposed to be the He-Tap.
That was a long time ago, man.
Yeah, the He-Tap hot seats. Hot seats. Shit, maybe you guys just interview me. Get somebody else to host, and you could just interview me. That'd be fucking hilarious. You can ask me any questions you want. You can have everybody there too, and they can ask me all sorts of. I'm sure the questions will be fucking painful and horrible. So, anime commentary. Yeah, we were supposed to do anime commentary. We were gonna do Yu Yu Hakusho. I don't know what that other guy had said, but regardless, we're watching Yu Yu Hakusho first. That has to happen. We're not watching. What the fuck did he want us to watch? Full Metal Alchemist? Yeah, that's not. Yeah, we're throwing that one out the window. We'll watch Full Metal Alchemist. We're keeping it in the. You know why? Because this is why. This is why I honestly think this.
Isn't Full Metal Alchemist the shonen anime?
If we're gonna watch anime, we should stick to shonen for right now, for the most part.
Isn't that a shonen anime though?
I guess it technically is, but we're not watching fucking Full Metal Alchemist first. That could come later. So we're watching shonens. We're gonna watch.
Nah, man, we gotta watch fucking. We gotta watch Evangelion.
No, we're watching Yu Yu Hakusho, and then we're watching Hunter.
Watch Evangelion.
Then we're watching Hunter x Hunter, and that's gonna.
We're gonna watch End of Evangelion.
Because on
stream.
Those shows are fucking amazing.
Yeah.
They'll inspire blues. That's the main reason they're gonna inspire blues. So.
Are they?
Yeah, you'll definitely like them.
Will they?
Yeah, you'll like them. Trust me. And then after that, you know what? We're gonna watch Hagami no Ippo from the beginning.
Hajime no Ippo.
Yeah, we're watching that after Hunter x Hunter. So that's
Hajime no Ippo.
yeah, that's
No Ippo.
so. What else could we talk about? I don't even know what I wrote. It's so chicken scratch. Review anime characters? Yeah, I already said that. Review animes. That's what it meant. Yeah, we can review animes. The only problem is Blues has only watched one anime. So that comes later. That comes after we watch some. So, yeah.
So you can give me a recommendation, and I'll be like, yeah, I haven't seen it.
Yeah. I gotta... man. That's so sad. You would really like Code Geass, too. That could probably... We'll probably watch Code Geass after... Yeah. Code Geass after Hagami no Ippo. Code Geass. Definitely. Have you even seen Sword Art Online? No?
So, like, the first episode.
Okay. I mean, shit, if we have time tomorrow, we could start watching Yu Yu Hakusho, so I'll let you know, because I got homework, of course. I got a shit ton of homework to do. I haven't even started it yet. But I wanted to make sure I got everything squared away as far as the podcast, and on Monday, I'm going to actually upload the rest of the podcast episodes. I will upload by tomorrow. This episode and the pre-show dojo should be uploaded. But, yeah, that's basically what's going on. Did you get the link for the Zeta?
Yeah, I got it.
Alright, cool. So you could just let me know when you apply, and I'll give you admin permissions. Don't expect anything soon to come out of it, because, I mean, yeah, it's just, it's going to take me a while to start working on it. Let's see. Do we want to talk about a little bit about normie news?
Sure.
It's all depressing. It's all like everything's on fire, and it's just, I mean, it's just horrible. You know what I told? You know what I told Stoner Piccolo? I'm like, look, I consider you one of my friends, and it's like I cannot tell you that there's no good outcome currently. And he's like, I wouldn't believe you if you told me. Like, that's good. That means you're on the same doomer level as me. Blues is kind of in the same. That's why I like Blues, because he's the same level of doomer as being Stoner Piccolo. Like, I mean, you should have hope, but let's not. I mean, if you think any of this shit that's going on in the news is good, you're out of your fucking mind at this point. Like, there's no real good. Because you need systematic reform, and that's not happening. So, I don't know. We talked a little bit about what's going on with Joe Rogan and Spotify, where the employees are boycotting it because they want them to censor. You can't censor Joe Rogan.
Okay. What's going on with all of that? What the fuck is going on with Joe Rogan?
I got this from the Intercept. It says, as Joe Rogan's platform grows, so why does...
I know you listen to Joe Rogan, right?
It says, so why does...
listen to Joe Rogan. So what the fuck is going on with all of that?
Well, since he moved to Spotify, what happened is you know, a lot of Silicon Valley companies, they have a liberal bias. Well, some of the employees are going to boycott Spotify unless they censor some of his episodes. And this goes back to you know,
censor some of his episodes for what?
Because they don't like him. They don't like the guests, like Milo Yiannopoulos or like Sargon of Akkad.
Oh, are you serious?
Yeah.
It's like, why are we trying to censor Joe
And
Rogan?
To be fair, this goes back to how these episodes were missing on the original. They're like, oh, you know, Stoner Pickle and others were like, no, you see, they just had an error or some shit. I'm like, are you sure? Like, like, this is supposed to be like Spotify, right? They're supposed to have their shit together. They just, all these right-wing episodes just happen to go missing.
Yeah, see, man, it's one, because it's like, Joe Rogan is weird because he himself is like, he's pretty, I don't think he's Republican.
He's liberal.
Like he's a pretty liberal guy.
He was going to vote for Bernie Sanders.
Yeah, so he's a pretty liberal guy, but he has on a lot of right wing people.
Yeah, because
at least when he had them on when they weren't necessarily right wing. They were just critiquing the culture. It's like now they're pretty right wing. And going back, it's like, oh, well, he had Sargon of Akkad on. I was like, how long ago did he have fucking Sargon of Akkad on?
Yeah, first of all, he had him on once, and he never had him on since.
Yeah, once, and it's like, how long ago was that?
Yeah, when Sargon was at his hottest.
I even used to watch Sargon of Akkad. I thought he was right on some things.
Sargon
had a pretty good.
Sargon was right about PC and social justice wars, but then he got super right wing, and it went downhill from there.
It's like he went down the pipeline, but it's like you can't criticize Joe Rogan for having on Sargon of Akkad. Yeah. It's just he was popular at the time, and he had him on his podcast. It's like what the fuck.
Joe Rogan.
Now that we're finding out months or years later that Sargon of Akkad is actually pretty far right. It's like, okay, well, that's what we found out now. You know,
Joe Rogan literally had on he has on people that interest him, because when he had on Bernie Sanders, like Biden and Kamala, all these people when they were still in the race, they all wanted to be on his show, and he's like, no, they don't interest me. That's the thing they don't really like about Joe Rogan, I think, is he only has on people that actually interest him, and a lot of these people they're not elites, and they're not people who take elite lines, and it's like, you know what it is? People don't like the fact that Joe Rogan now is basically like how the Tonight Show and all these other, basically he's like an alternative powerhouse to like mainstream media. Like he's eclipsed everybody. If you go on Joe Rogan and you're popular, you're a made man. Like you've just gained millions of audiences. He's made and because he's a comedian, like he understands comedy, so he'll only have on comedians that are edgy, like Tim Dillon, or he'll have on Ari Shaffir. And so he made them popular, and people don't like that because the mainstream media wants to be gatekeepers. Like, if it was up to the mainstream media, like people like Tim Dillon or Ari Shaffir, they would be like blacklisted. But they can't do that now with the internet.
It's like we're getting to that point now to where blacklisting people, and it's like these celebrity elites.
You can't blacklist people.
Their power, it's like their power is
You can't blacklist people because even YouTube's trying that. YouTube's trying to become like the new mainstream TV, and it's like all the creators are just moving off to Patreon and creating podcasts now. And like me, I support that. And even with alternative news, all they've done is they've just moved.
It's really ironic when you think about it, because it's like we try to prop up this, they talk about all this fucking, this is really a sin of capitalism, honestly.
It's not
like we could have a good YouTube platform. It's like they always want to.
No, what they should have is people should demand that there's a public YouTube that's for the people, and it doesn't matter. It's a Wild West. You can have anything you want.
Yeah, man, it's like as soon as these corporations and shit started trying to take over YouTube, it's like, what the fuck is going on?
The problem isn't even the corporations.
All these ads and shit, Jesus Christ.
If the corporations would just shut the fuck up and be neutral and not actually get politically involved or pick favorites.
Yeah, it's like you're a corporation.
Yeah.
Sell me shit.
It doesn't even make any sense, because they would make so much money if they would just be a neutral.
They would just shut the fuck up and sell shit.
Yeah, just be neutral on the platform, but they're not. They
it's
think
like you're a corporation. You are supposed to sit on the fence. Me, as an individual, I have an opinion. A corporation is not supposed to tell me how I'm supposed to feel.
Yeah. So YouTube's gonna die. I mean, I expect eventually, because of the shit we talk about, because you know, I'm not going to be a part of a podcast unless I can say what the fuck I want, really. Like, it should be like that. And you should be able to say what you want, you know? So I imagine eventually if, you know, if we even get a little bit of popularity, that they might ban us, but I don't really care because what we'll do is we'll just we'll basically by that time I hope I have a little bit of extra money, and I'll just hire somebody to build us our own website, and we'll just have our own Patreon, and we'll post this shit on Daily Motion and BitChute, because I would imagine maybe BitChute might eventually be the alternative to YouTube, but we don't even need that because, you know, like Joe Rogan has his own website where you post, and Dan Carlin does, so we'll just have our own website. It'll just be called it'll probably just be called I don't know. We'll call it. I think eventually we'll have to call it something different from just Legends, because it's Legends and Zeta. So I don't know. We'll just call it I don't know. We'll figure it out. The Blues and Rom Productions. That's what we'll call it. That would be our company. The Rom and Blues, or Blues and Rom Productions. Or something. Blue-Red Well, no, I guess it could be Blue-Red Productions, but it'd better be Blue.
No, that's basic.
Yeah.
That's basic as fuck.
I'll just call it Zeta Productions, because that sounds fucking cool, but... Zeta Productions, but... We'll figure it out. But yeah, I mean, if you really want to know what the weaknesses are of Legends, if we were enemies, what I would exploit or use against you, because we can do that, you know, as friends, we can see our weaknesses, and we can, like, my weaknesses, I would imagine you could use against me is, for one thing, you know that, like, I'm short-tempered sometimes, and I get a little too... What the fuck was that?
Fuck with what?
I don't know. It sounded like a... I don't know. Hold on. There might be an alien in my house. I gotta get my shotgun. Fucking aliens. Wouldn't that be amazing if there was an alien and you just heard my shotgun go off and I told you I just shot an alien? Blues would... You just hear this, like, this gurgling, crying noise. I think Blues would be freaked the fuck out. He'd be like... What
the fuck is this?
He'd go to the Blues bunker. But, no, hold on, I'll be right back, Blues. Entertain him for a minute, and I'll tell you what I was thinking. Alright, so no, I would imagine, well, one of the things you could do is you could say, well, you know, Zeta is 2OC. You could go that route. You could be like, look, we're more canon, right? You know, we're canon. I mean, that I guess that's an angle, but the only thing with that is that because I'm adding a lot more elements of different animes, it's kind of the point. Like, I'm not trying to be shoehorned into just like, this has to be Dragon Ball Z. Like, there'll be the Hunters Association, and they tie into the backstory. You know, there'll be the pirates, because the pirates are kind of like in the Caribbean area. Because I'm making a custom map. I'm not using Dragon Ball Z. It's just, it doesn't make any fucking sense. Why not just have our own nation states that are unique?
Well, that's because Akira Toriyama just did what the fuck he wanted.
Like, it's going to be cool, because the Red Ribbon Army's there.
It's just insane how, like, you go back and try to organize Dragon Ball Z. It's like he didn't think about none of this shit.
No,
Bless
and,
his heart. Bless his fucking
and the
heart.
the problem is too we take it way too seriously. Like that's the thing.
Yeah,
Tori,
we take it way too seriously. It's like Toriyama didn't even take it this fucking seriously. It's like
yeah.
man.
That's why Dragon Ball Z is kind of like it's really becoming Dragon Ball Z to me is becoming a lot like SAO. I'm not comparing them like that, but what I'm saying is Dragon Ball Z is a good concept like SAO is. And so we can use that concept as a baseline to create our own worlds. And I think that's what we really need to do. What I think eventually you might want to do, Blues, is kind of what I'm doing with Zeta. Like the next incarnation of Legends should just basically... You can kind of use Zeta as an example of how you can create... You can use Dragon Ball Z as a concept, but you can create a customized world, basically. Because that's what I'm doing. So I think that's the way I'm going to go. So, like, we're not going to have this shitty architecture. I'm going to actually make the architecture...
Look, man, the architecture in Dragon Ball...
No. I'm making the architecture Asian in the Asia part, and I'm going to make it European in the European part, and, you know, it's going to be fucking cool. I really do think it'll be better. And we'll still have Saiyans and Changelings. Like, it'll be basically based off of Dragon Ball Z. I just added more depth to it. So that's basically it. God, I gotta do laundry later. I think I got some extra quarters, but they're in the car. Let's see. So what are you doing right now? You're just fucking around with Xanthi?
I'm about to beat the shit out of Elijah.
You always trying to fight Spanish Gohan, man. You and him are always
well,
gonna...
my character is fucking his mom, so it's like, yeah.
Yeah, you and him are always gonna be enemies because you always fight for Xanthi's attention, basically. Let's be quite honest. You guys just love her so much, it's almost disappointing. You guys love her too much to your own detriment, is I guess where I'm going with that. Because, I mean... You know, it wouldn't... You know what? I think Heather's whatever sparkle or whatever or would not be as sparkly if there was more girls or peers on the site. So I would be very cautious about it because your dumbasses would just try to flirt with them all day and scare them off.
Look, bitch, I'm not 13 anymore. I don't flirt with every fucking girl I see.
Yes. See, Spanish Gohan...
Life, yeah,
Spanish
like,
Gohan could get away with it. You know why? Because Spanish Gohan could play stupid, like,
they invented that shit.
Yeah, Spanish Gohan could play stupid because he's, like, foreign. So he's like, oh, he just doesn't know any better.
I don't know.
Yeah, he just...
Yeah, it's like, he's got that advantage. I don't. I'm American.
Yeah.
I need to know what's up.
You're just a common peasant. You're not exotic like Spanish Gohan.
I mean, I'm black, but what is that?
Spanish Gohan has that sexy Spanish voice. Like you're at a disadvantage, bro. His grandfather has like grape vineyards and shit.
I'd be at a disadvantage if I was just like some pasty ass white kid.
Yeah, he's like he should sell himself as a wine merchant. It's like, yeah, my grandpa owns. It's like, you want to come to my villa and we can make wine together, and then he's gonna win.
Like a tobacco plantation.
Yeah. No, they don't have
tobacco in Spain. Yeah.
No, they don't have like. It's not like that. It's a vineyard. It's different. It's not like a plantation.
Yeah, I was thinking about it. It's like they didn't have plantations. That's what they took over all the other fucking work. They couldn't have plantations in Spain because that's what Spain took over Mexico for.
Yeah, exactly. So. Yeah. But I don't know. It depends. The thing about Legends is it's like, I mean, it has always the potential to keep going, but it's like, I don't know in what directions. It's how much more creativity can we put into this before it gets stagnant? And to be fair, I think it can last for a very long time. That's why... You know, I mean, we have tons of villains that we haven't even explored, so yeah, we can definitely... So I don't know, it really just depends. The only problem now is that we're both really busy, and it's like, And I always get angry and frustrated about it, but it's like, what else are we supposed to do? Because I do not see, the thing with me is I could. The thing is, I know I could just get obsessed with my hobbies, and I'm smart enough to where I don't have a lot of debt. I could kind of just scumbag my way through life and just live on basic means. But, like, I want to live a good life, too. Like, look, I don't want to be that guy who just obsesses over fucking a website that, sure, maybe we could make money, but it's like, is it worth sacrificing everything else over? Even if it is
I don't know. I
successful.
mean, if everything else is important and you value everything else, then yeah,
Because the
it wouldn't be
question,
worth it. But it's like if you don't have anything else in your life besides this that you
yeah,
consider worthy of your time, then it's like, okay, whatever, you know.
yeah, that's my thing. It's like I actually do want to do other things, you know,
I
even
mean, I
nerdy
don't have an
things.
interest in any other things.
Even nerdy things. Like I would like to actually like legit go play D&D with actual people. That'd be nice and fun. So I don't know. I don't know. I think I'm done drinking wine for today. There we go. But yeah, that's about it. That's about it, folks. I'm about to end this podcast. I mean, 7 o'clock. I definitely got to do laundry tonight, and I got to work on bullshit, which means school. Because, yeah, there's a lot to do, unfortunately, as there always is. When is this semester over? I think in 2 months from now, basically. So I still have a long way to go. We're at least getting close to the halfway point, but... And then I think we get, like, what, a 2 or 3 week break? Which is always nice. So, it's all good. It's all good. So, alright. Where's the OBS? Alright, folks, we're ending it here. We got, we did an hour and 16, which ain't that bad. It's a short podcast this time. I think, I think the pre-show dojo went on longer than the podcast, which is kind of sad,
Yeah,
but
that's what I was saying. It's like, yeah, just use the pre-show dojo for today's episode.
no, we'll use them both. I like the pre-show dojo because it's like we're just having conversations. There's no structure, so it could go anywhere, and there's always gems in it. That's why I kind of wanted to start it, because sometimes the conversations we have before the podcast are better than the ones on the podcast. So, all right, folks, this is it. So we'll end it here for now, and I hope you enjoyed the number 19.